Okay. I'm going to tell you about my experience as an avionics technician for Mobile Aerospace. A joke. Alright. Now, I'm just an electronics technician. I have an associate's in industrial electronics. But I took 5 years to earn that degree. I took the courses and I took my time and I studied. Okay. Now, I'm working over at Mobile Aerospace, and I got in this avionics gig. And they were complete bullshit. The QC, quality control, would sign off on jobs that were supposed to take 12 hours after an hour. And they billed Boeing and all of those other places for C-checks that they never did. I know for personal experience. They did not do them. For instance, I was working on a fire suppression system. And it was I think it was a bottle of, I think it's argon? I don't know. It's back in 99 or something like that. It was like 20 years ago. So, but anyway, it was like a bottle of argon. And, the big spherical bottle that has the compressed gas in it, that if there's a fire in the system, it releases the gas into where the area where the fire is, and the oxygen masks drop down. So anyway, I'm sitting there, and I'm supposed to turn this one screw a half a turn. I'm supposed to turn it one half turn, and I have to cut the safety wire. I cut the safety wire, and this is an engineering problem, and I'm reaching back in there, right, and I'm like trying to turn this screw a half turn so that the guy in the cockpit can find out whether or not the gauge is working. All right, and this is like a 12-hour process according to the QC, right? And it was getting to lunchtime, right? And I'm doing it. I cut the wire, and I'm fiddling in there. I'm trying to freaking turn that screw a half a turn so that to test the argon bottle. And he's like, "What's taking so long? What's taking so long?" And we've been working on it for like an hour or 2 hours or something like that. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm trying, and like, I know what I'm doing. I'm very qualified to do the job that I'm doing. But anyway, so like, he rushes me, and I'm like, I look at the QC check, and this is a C check for I think it was a Boeing 7047, something like that. Anyway, and I'm trying to turn it, right, and he's rushing me, and I'm like, well, I don't know. And then he comes down there, and he's like, here, just go to lunch. I'll do it. And I'm like, first of all, he has to be in the cockpit to turn, so that when I turn the screw, so that the indicator in the cockpit, whether or not, and this was the part where you turn the screw to test the argon bottle, and there was nobody in the cockpit to read the meter. Okay? When he sent me to lunch, there was nobody in the cockpit to read the meter. And I had already cut the safety wire for the argon bottle. All right? And he sends me to lunch. And he was my superior. So I'm like, well, okay. And then I go to lunch. I'm sitting outside talking with the crew, and we're all like talking about all kinds of shit, like this human skin in an aircraft that has been in flight for 12 hours or 24 hours, and when you have to freaking clean it out, and like people catching diseases and stuff because of the, like, if you're in a big tube, and he comes down about a half hour later. Now, there was no one in the cockpit to read that meter, and he's like, it's done. And I'm like, okay. He was my superior, and it was like very militaristic over there. And I'm like, okay, yes, sir. Another one, and you can obviously see the reference here because he didn't do it. That safety wire was never tied back, and it was never done. Because I was doing it, and it was a very, very tight tolerance, and I had a very specialized screwdriver for this tight tolerance. He didn't do it, and there was no one in the cockpit to read the meter anyway. So I doubt very seriously he even tied the safety wire back. But anyway, that's just one incident. I remember another incident. Now, I have sleep apnea, which means narcolepsy is a side effect of sleep apnea. And I'm driving. I'm tired. I'm fucking tired. I'm like just tired of the bullshit. I'm driving up there to Mobile Aerospace at 4 o'clock in the morning to get there on time. And I've been working there for about a year now. And okay, and I'm supposed to do, I think it was, I don't remember exactly what this procedure was, but it was for the lights, and their safety lights. And I decide, I'm like, I go down to the parts store, and I'm supposed to replace the clips for the fluorescent tubes that have plastic coating, because if they break, they don't even want the glass to escape. So the fluorescent tubes in aircraft have plastic coating over them, and then there's a plastic shielding as well. So anyway, they also have these special clips that clip down over the plastic shielding and clip the tube into place. And I'm supposed to replace those clips. And I'm working on it, and I go down to the parts store, and they're like, well, we don't have them. I'm like, I need it. It's for this. And they're like, we don't have them. So I'm like, okay. So I go back up in there, and to secure the fluorescent tubing into place, I used metal tape, and I taped the clips in place because they were broken, and it got QC passed. This is just a couple of things that happened. Now, in an aircraft, every single bolt, nut, and screw has a wire through it, except for on the skin of a plane. The skin of the plane, the screws are glued in place with Loctite. So anyway, it's just a story. Mobile Aerospace experience as an avionics technician.